I sent everyone their own individualized fan fiction to read.
I wanted to acquire him, to make him love me, to make love to him.
Give me the pen.
Should I start writing these Wattpads?
Have you guys seen Lady Chatterley's Lover?
No, I've heard so much about it. I know you. I know you're.
You guys, they're dancing naked.
Welcome to Softcore, the podcast where we explore all things soft and hard. I'm Caroline Cotter.
I'm Megan Patsel.
And I'm Maggie Widdoes.
And this week we're focusing on fantasy.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of be exploring all aspects of fantasy.
And what is life if not one big fantasy?
That's
Yeah.
so
many
actually
ways.
It's but a dream.
Oh, Judy Garland's in the house.
Is that
Judy.
true?
It's true.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, fantasy. Somebody brought up fan fiction.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely
Somebody
be going-
brought it up. I don't know.
Someone
Somebody
random-
talks about that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Freak brought up fan
Yeah.
fiction, but
Someone
that'll-
slipped into the group chat.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was weird. They
It's weird.
got
I've
the
never-
access code or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of access, code, this is my first time ever in my life actually going onto Wattpad.
Same.
I've never done it before.
Okay, I hadn't either, and I have had a visceral reaction to
Really?
the name Wattpad. It sounds so disgusting.
Because wad, like
It's 1,000% wad, fap pad. Like it sounds like a puppy pad for your cum. Sorry. I'm sorry.
oh my god.
Don't you think that's because I feel this
Like we're all getting on all fours and
babe, will you
beating
get my
off on our
Wattpad?
Wattpad. Oh wait, are we out of Wattpads? Okay, I gotta run to the
I
store.
hate
guess I can't read my
it when
smut.
people don't train their dogs and they have to give them Wattpads. Wait, I had the same feeling, but I thought it was because I know what Wattpad is. You know what I mean? And so I'm coming to it from like people online being like, this seems like some Wattpad stuff or
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I
and
mean?
is that
It's like-
derogatory?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wattpad is derogatory.
Well, yeah, because it's usually like just
Oh, that
stands
sounds
or
like a
whatever.
Wattpad.
Like
you
fanfic,
probably
whatever.
read Wattpad.
well,
yeah.
having now experienced Wattpad,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
In my body understands.
So listeners, I gave everyone an assignment that we'll go over today.
Yes.
I sent everyone their own individualized fan fiction to read, and it turns out it was all of our first times on Wattpad. I had a feeling because we wanted to talk about fan fiction, but I
Yes.
just didn't think any of us had truly experienced it. So we can't really discuss something unless we really
Yeah.
tried it.
Yeah, and
Try everything once.
that's a deep dive.
Yeah.
That's not. I've done fanfic on like, I don't know. I guess what's another one?
Tumblr.
Maybe
Or like art sometimes. Well, that's not
Yeah.
actually
Like
that's
deviant
not
art?
fan fiction at all.
Caroline.
That's a version.
Caroline has just admitted to doing fanfic.
No, I haven't admitted
Art.
You like
to
art?
doing anything.
Exploring
you
it.
sometimes-
you have experienced.
Okay,
it.
I'm not going to sit here and have both of you say you've never Googled art of like some things that you're reading
Yeah,
or whatever.
I've seen Lisa Simpson getting bent over
we
by
know
the
you.
angry beavers. All right,
We know
I think we've all seen that.
I get, yeah, sure. I've like rewound and watched
Yes.
scenes of movies. I think that's
Yeah.
but that's also art.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm just a little
Yeah.
highbrow.
Oh,
true, yeah,
there
you guys
was
do highbrow
a
for me.
period in college where there was a period in college where the scene in this is so embarrassing.
Then don't share it.
Sorry,
I don't wanna hear that.
Wrong place for that.
Understood? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's our podcast.
And that's our podcast.
Bye, thank you.
Where How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, where she's at his parents' house, and they're in they like go on a moped. He's Southern, but from like Staten Island.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. But then
Green lights.
they're in his parents' house and in the bathroom after like a day out and about, and Feels Like Home starts to play. It's like dun 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 dun. Dun. There's something in your voice makes me what? And she lifts her arms up like this, and he's drawing her a shower. And I would just watch that sort of
Oh, horny.
horny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horny. I said, that's nice. That seems like a nice thing for a man to do.
So that is kind of a little bit of a fantasy for you, maybe, just having
Yeah.
someone draw you a shower.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
While your arms
While I
up,
go,
like,
and then he lifts her shirt up.
to be disrobed.
Caroline hated that. Something I love is we are already so clear. Like Caroline and I have different
Not
tastes
open-minded.
in stuff. Like, yeah. But I told you it was embarrassing. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that's not embarrassing. I don't think that's what I'm thinking about. Is I was picturing myself in that situation because I'm so empathetic, and I'm like picturing if you're doing that and someone takes your shit off, it's gonna be so tickly.
It's gonna be
Okay.
tickly, and that's bad.
and so
Well, in a way that,
Yeah,
is
and
not-
also I just hate showering and stuff. So that to me is not a fantasy.
dirty girl.
see
Dirty girl vibes.
water
You're-
for me is in the fantasies. I
Splishin'
love
and
splish splash,
splashin'.
baby. Yeah, the sort of sensuality of water to begin with is that's something for me.
Well, okay, I'm gonna pivot us a bit because I want to talk about each of our individual fantasies, including water play, dirty
Yes.
talk,
Yeah,
whatever.
later, yeah.
But first, I think we need to do
Yes.
a little bit of a horny corner, State of the
Housekeeping.
Union. Yeah,
Yeah.
housekeeping. What's horny this week? This week that will be months in the past when this airs, but
Yeah.
kind of what's horny right now.
I've entered a new journey. I've stepped into the patron space.
Your patron
yeah,
era.
your patron
I'm in my
era.
patron era. I do also think because of this, it's technically a write-off.
It's
now.
a write-off.
Yeah.
And we know what that means.
Yeah. We know how to do our
Taxes.
taxes.
We know what that means.
This is first and foremost a financial literacy
If
podcast.
you want me to
Take
do
our
your
advice.
taxes, I'll do them. I'm really good at TurboTax.
Okay,
Okay.
that would save me money.
That would have actually
that'd
really
be
helped me.
incredible.
Yeah.
You know I'm in the hole.
I don't do it right, but I do it, and I get a lot of money off my taxes every year in a way where I will be audited by the IRS.
Yeah,
I think
at some
Well,
point.
we
there
all-
if I
is.
ever like earn money, I think I'll be audited by the IRS.
Oh,
but
I
I'm so poor that
1,000%
like
think the same thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm
Yeah.
like, once it starts coming in, they're gonna be like, hey, by the way,
yeah, like
the last
what are
decade,
you doing?
And I
it
show
has
them
been nuts.
my yellow legal pads
Yes.
of like
Yeah.
notes, and I'm like, this is the taxes.
They're like, you said you earn negative $300,000 in
Yeah,
a year, and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, it's for business.
I feel like financially, I'm sort of like it's like a little bit Grey Gardens. Like they're gonna come in and they're
Yeah.
gonna find me just
And you
like
got sweatpants on your head.
yeah,
and
I've got tights on my arms.
Yeah.
And this is my money.
That's good.
That might work though, because then they'll be like,
Yeah.
never
They'll
mind.
be
They're like, oh,
got
she's
it,
sick.
actually.
Yeah,
she's a
she's
sick
sick.
person.
She's got the mentals.
Yeah. Okay, so my patron era
yeah.
is that I have subscribed to audio erotica app website.
Yes.
Quinn.
Amazing.
We
I'm
know.
on it.
You're on.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
the free trial.
And what'd you think?
I kept forgetting I had it, but I used it. I used it a couple times, and
No,
it
that's a
was-
good point.
Yeah.
It was nice.
You have to change your entire routine to.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you
Like,
what's
embrace it.
really interesting about it
Yeah.
and
Go
figuring
off.
out how people use it.
Uh-huh.
Reading the comments, it seems like some people are just like listening to this during the day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
Right.
And-
Speak on that.
And
Well, why don't you say what it kind of is first?
okay,
Yeah.
it's like unlike some places that do in-house audio erotica, it's like users upload stuff and they have like you can see the like high-rated one. It's a little bit like a more ethical Pornhub but for audio, I think. Or a Balesa.
Yeah. Women founded.
Women
owned,
founded, yes. Some great stuff.
Yeah.
I really have to tell you some really good
And don't
stuff.
they have like well-known actors and stuff?
They
Yeah.
just started doing
Oh
that,
my
yeah.
God, yeah, the girl from You.
Victoria Pedretti.
Vic-
That's her,
Yeah.
their newest.
Oh, and Jesse Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blue eyes.
Oh, blue
Oh,
eyes. Yeah.
blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
Making me feel new again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
So, but to one of you brought up about Quinn. That some people listen during the day. There are like
Yeah.
multi-part audios that seem to be like there's fairies, there's nymphs, there's like whole storylines.
Now that's interesting.
And then there's for maybe this is the one I like, the 30-second or maybe 1 minute
Moaning.
clip of moaning
Yeah.
and just kind of like
Let's get to the
undressing
point.
and grunting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it runs the gambit.
It runs
Yeah.
the gamut. And I guess I'm just like, some of the ones that I was listening to, I was like, this is taking me there. How are people listening to this in the work they'll be like, listen to this at work. It was crazy hard. And I'm like, yeah.
Don't do
Why
that.
are you doing that?
Yeah.
This is for the privacy of when you can take care of it.
Yeah. Take care of
Something
business.
that's also so funny about that is, and I feel the same about Wattpad, is like the
I
people
can't
who are
with this name.
people who are commenting on it, where it's
Yeah.
like,
To
you
make
know
it
what I
interactive?
mean? Yeah, it's just like,
Let me talk to other
at this
people.
point where and then they'll be someone will be like, well, I'm so glad you loved it, like whatever, because I do think that the quality is better than like the sort of free stuff on, let's say, Reddit /
Gone Wild
Gone
Audio.
Wild Audio.
That's right. I
Yeah.
know exactly
Yeah,
what you're talking about, baby.
that shit is crazy.
And you got to dig through some
Yeah.
stuff.
God.
You're trying stuff
You're a
out. Whereas
pioneer,
Quinn,
really.
it's higher quality
Yeah.
stuff.
And it's easier to find what you want.
Yes.
I hate when people try to get artsy on Quinn.
Yes.
Like they'll add in like sound effects.
I
I'm
don't
like,
need the
okay,
sound effects.
Yeah, it's like maybe the fire bustling, burning. Like I can.
Hey,
maybe
Megan.
handle that.
Hey, Megan. I listened
Are
to
we
that
on the same one?
And
you like it?
I think I know the creator.
Is that the one where he owns the Airbnb and he like shows her around and then?
I
and then
do skip forward the first 10 minutes.
I usually do too.
I actually don't need so much exposition as much as
Just
I need
straight up
hand-on-hand finger
The
fighting.
way my fingers on the fast forward, just waiting until I
fast
hear.
forward. Okay, that we're not there yet. He's
Yeah.
still introducing. I'm like, I don't need. And I think it's funny because a lot of people talk about women needing like this story, and I'm like, sure, I like
Right.
like a defined relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
But I can get that in 2 seconds.
I could get just
Yeah.
just put it in the title.
Yeah.
I'm-
Cowboy,
I'm on board.
cowgirl.
Yes.
And then I'm like,
Okay,
yeah.
not a problem. All right, let's see them fuck.
Let's see the cow people fuck.
Yeah, the cow people.
Cow people.
Yeah.
Cow
The cow people.
Yeah.
Furries. Have you listened to that one guy who kind of sounds like Bo Burnham? I had to turn him off because he thinks he's funny and he'll start like laughing kind of
When
every
they
once in a
start
while.
making jokes,
And they're like,
say,
no, not that
that's-
leg, the other leg. What? And then he like laughs.
And it's like, that's not funny.
No. And he's like,
I don't-
you're so cute. Don't make me say that. Like, and
Yeah. No, it's weird.
he sounds like Bo Burnham too. And then like, which
Ew.
would usually be hot.
Yeah.
But like it's
He's
the
missing the
giggling.
personality and humor.
Yeah, because he's got this fake humor that's like, no, what?
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah, I don't like that
Yeah.
stuff.
Ew.
I don't like
I've
that.
turned him off. I don't have one guy on there yet that I'm like into. I'll
The-
switch around.
There's one with the crackling fire that I enjoyed,
Well,
and you know what so that's my horny
Yeah.
corner. That's sort of my
Yeah.
update. I'm exploring the categories.
we could go off on erotica at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And feels good to be paying for it. You know.
Yeah. Supporting your local sex.
Yeah.
What's that going for? $4.99.
$4.99
a month for what?
This podcast
get?
is actually
full shillings.
funded. This is subsidized because it's actually teaching Caroline how to talk.
And
thought we'd help her out.
Yeah.
We might get the thing. Fuck. We might get the funding pulled
Yeah, funding
based off of my performance.
If we don't get her literally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
like,
we're really hoping to keep our funding.
Yeah.
Eliza Doolittle style over here.
Yeah, that's right. Horny Corner is going well and loving
Strong.
where I'm looking out from it. You know.
Nice.
Yeah,
What do you got going on?
miss.
Excuse
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me,
Don't
miss.
miss me.
Please tell me
Makes you
what.
horny.
Don't miss me.
Miss Horny.
I
Wattpad.
Yeah, I'm very Wattpad these days. No, I'm not actually, but I'm scared. I'm actually whatever. We'll talk about that later. But I'm scared for myself. I'm kind of actually not. I'm sure I'm a little horny, but almost not horny because my horny corner is almost the anti-horny corner because
happens?
I am just like realized I'm in like a true neutral in terms of like dating right now. Like there's nobody that I'm like really liking or whatever. I don't have like a crush, which is really sad.
Which
so maybe
is
that's,
different. Which is really hard.
Yeah, so maybe that's my kind of horny is like kind of looking. I'm open to that.
Yeah.
Open to a crush experience.
Open to a
Yeah.
crust, but with open to a
Crust.
crust.
Open to crust.
I'm open to crust.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I am going hard on the dates.
Right.
And
you got to get
dates,
something happening.
Yeah, dates is also an interesting term for what I'm using. Sometimes it's just somebody comes over to my apartment and we get down to business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you skip the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. You just gotta go like, what's it?
Yeah.
But or sometimes you don't, and I'm like, I gotta listen to this guy fucking talk for
Yeah,
20
yeah,
minutes.
Get to the
oh
good
my
part.
god!
Stop. I don't care about your Airbnb.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I did my first 2-in-1 yesterday, like 2 dates in one, and it was
And I do wish that was referring to something different.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, that I've done before, but it wasn't date style. But I like didn't like, you know what I mean? It was just like one was like a walk, and it was fine. You know what I mean? It was just like whatever. And then this other one was this guy I've seen a couple times, and you know when like it was like maybe our 5th date, and you know how it was our 5th date. It was just interesting. I don't know how much detail to, go into, but
You're allowed.
But it was basically like this person had. I think I don't really care about this person. All the problem is he's hot, and I don't usually date hot people. So sometimes when I do date hot people, I can get blinded by the fact that they're hot, and they're actually really.
Yeah.
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland
God,
is
Judy.
here once again.
And like I unfortunately with like therapy and stuff like that, I'm like realizing my patterns, and it does make some parts of dating more boring because I'm not doing like the psycho stuff that I used to the same degree.
Yeah, it's without that rush.
Yeah. But this guy, it was just like there was this moment where, let's just say after I toured the Airbnb, where I had known I knew that he got out of like a 8-year relationship. And in my mind it was kind of like, a year ago or whatever, but then it was like, oh no, it was actually 6 or 7 months ago. And then it was kind of like a whole unloading from him about just the relationship. You know what I mean? Which is
and
like,
that's not what you signed up for.
but also it's like I didn't even care. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, that's like interesting. And it was so funny because it reminded me of myself like when I was like 27 and had just gone through a breakup.
Yeah.
And me thinking I was like ready to date, but like I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I think I can kind of close the chapter on this one now.
Yeah.
Is how it felt.
5 and done.
That's so mature.
5 and done.
5 and done. I really like that. I think that's also the feel. It's like when you're in bed or anywhere with someone and you're used to sort of the grip of like a connection keeping you interested, but you don't feel anything. It's sort of like, well, this is weird.
Yeah, it was
This
just kind
is
of
a
like
new experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. But it's also so funny because I'm like, oh, I have to end things now. You know what I mean? Because he was like, I had such a great night today. And I'm like, yeah, of course you did. You had like a
You got
free like therapy session.
Yeah. And we all fuck our therapists, right?
I wish. God, I wish. I wish.
Yeah.
Sounds, you know how they say men are thinking with their dicks a lot?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're not doing that right now, which is mature.
Yeah.
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 You're not thinking with your dick.
No.
But I want to.
Exactly. Because that is more fun.
Yeah.
And it's more pure and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Meg.
Okay, so
Take us there.
Take us there,
I'll
man.
take you right there. So I know none of us are huge like Taylor Swifties, but we're not haters, which is great because
I just sort
we're
of
posy
am
vibes.
neutral.
Yeah,
neutral
neutral.
spine.
For me, I realize it's like I'll like one song on every album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go girl.
Yeah.
Go girl. You know,
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Like happy for
Okay,
her.
girl.
Yeah. Go girl.
Loving
Go off.
it.
You still got it.
Yeah. So that's kind of
You're
like
rocking.
my stance. Yeah, you're rocking.
Yeah.
Hey, keep doing this music thing, Taylor.
Yeah.
You rock.
You're onto something here.
Yeah. That's the kind of respect I have for her. I don't really care. But, this week, the whole footage of her at Arrowhead Stadium watching the Kansas City Chiefs, seeing Travis
I
Kelce.
just want to say immediately that you're using the correct name of the stadium.
That's
I'm
what
sort of like, okay.
This is
That's
what's
crazy.
crazy. I'm like a little bit of a sports girl.
Yeah.
I've never been that way. I don't know sports, but I'm throwing around all these terms now.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Arrowhead. But you know why? Because their characters and their locations in the book I'm reading, and the book is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fall in love.
Uh-huh.
So I have taken this news story and turned it into a romance novel.
Yeah.
Where there's
It's very tropey.
Yes, because I can finally identify with Taylor Swift because in this story she is just like the cool artsy girl who like focuses on her work and is like pretty she's confident, but she's like whatever.
Yeah.
And this hunk of a man who's just like kind of football guy, but
Built
like
like
he's
a
funny.
fucking brick house.
Yeah, he'll go on SNL every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like he's whatever, and he's like I like this girl. Like, and he makes a grand gesture. He attempts to give her this friendship bracelet when she plays in his stadium. And there's that whole thing about like
I didn't know that.
they
I
share a
didn't know that.
stadium. Yeah, she played at Arrowhead, and he went to see her, and he had a friendship bracelet with his phone number on it that he intended to give her. He didn't get the chance.
Sorry.
Wait, this is
Really? Right?
Yeah,
And so,
I like that thing. I'm gonna like that.
I kind of like that. So then he put like an open call, like, "Hey, I've seen you rock the stadium. Like, come see me rock it."
I did.
I saw that.
I unfortunately did see the quote "rock the stadium," and I
Yeah.
said we have to let that slide off.
Yeah.
I actually
Forget
can't
it.
engage.
He is a jock at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if we were writing the book, it wouldn't
Be
say
funnier,
rock the stadium.
yeah.
It would be
rock
cuter.
the stage
fuck
was
me.
what I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah, rock
And
the stage.
That's hard.
Yeah, but then she did. She showed up, like in Cinderella. She shows up to watch him rock the stadium.
Yeah.
She's there, cheering. She's got a red lip on because red is her color, and the Chiefs are red.
Of course.
And, everyone's taking photos, but she doesn't care. If it were me, I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, everyone knows I'm here on a date. Like,
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
No,
But she's,
she
like, so confident.
Is proud. She's
proud.
does.
She's proud.
She's proud.
Yeah.
Taylor
proud.
Swift is pride. Yeah.
She's actually so proud.
And guess what they do after? They ride off in his vintage muscle car, top down. Yeah. Yeah, let that sink in. They ride off to the after party in his convertible.
I gotta say, I do my best to avoid Taylor Swift dating information.
Same, I don't
But
care.
this is one where like his horny is evident to me.
Yeah.
He looks
I'm
up at her in the stands and
he-
like smiles.
Yeah.
He is good at fingering.
Yeah,
he
he's good at
is.
fingering.
He's got the sexual energy
Yeah.
that I like.
Like he's gonna grunt or
Yes.
like growl,
He's-
but it's not gonna be awkward.
Annoying.
Because It's
No.
gonna be
Yeah.
like that's just a
No,
sound
and
Travis
he like
makes.
is really into fucking.
Yes, he's really into fucking relentless. Can't get enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that he's pursuing her.
Yeah.
I think that's we'll go into fantasies, but like the idea of a hunky man being obsessed with me. Like
Yeah.
he comes to see my show, he tries to see me backstage, like he asks me out. I'm like, literally, football guy, what the heck?
Yeah. Football guy,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I'm doing art.
Are you?
I'm in my art right now,
you
football.
wouldn't understand it. You're football. I'm art. We could never be together.
No.
Yeah.
But yes, you can.
Did you see that clip of them I think it was that same day, like going to the, one of the other players on the football team took a video of them in the, not green room, in the like
tunnel.
The box. The tunnel.
The tunnel or
Yeah.
their like where the athletes, their changing room, locker room. It was in their locker room.
In the green room.
In the green room.
The dressing room.
Where one of the teammates was like recording them and they're like, "Oh, Taylor Swift," and she's like, "Huh." But like, I watched it like 10 times. I think for the same reason you're saying, because like it was just this awkward like kind of first date energy.
Yeah.
You could kind of hear them
Yeah.
like talking a little bit, but
Yes.
still like
Was that
flirty
a
and
first
fun.
date?
I think
don't
so.
know,
Like
like,
Dumas
early
says
for
they've
sure.
been on a couple, but like to
Do
me
you think
in my
they
narrative,
fucked
that's
yet?
first. I think actually, yeah, because the reports, and I read all the reports, are that like they were partying. It was after party. I think they won the football game.
Yeah.
And the after party was till like 4 a.m. and then she went back to his like penthouse apartment after, and like we don't know when she left. Like
But that might have been the first night they fucked.
that could have been the first night they fucked.
Wow.
Yeah, penthouse. Also, penthouse is so sexy.
Yeah,
that
that's
word.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's 50 Shades of Grey.
He's taking you in his top-down old car
Yeah.
to his penthouse with his big arm.
Yeah. He could lift you up with
And
his
he's only
fucking
got one
pinky,
arm.
spin you around. Yeah.
So that really got me.
Really
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's a good, and I also really appreciate, because I think it's one of these things that you see traveling around the internet.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
see it go
Yeah.
around.
And I'm like, I've avoided it. It's because
Yeah.
anytime you engage with one Taylor Swift thing,
gonna get 'em
it's a portal. It's Pandora's box.
Yes.
So I really appreciate this sort of curated update.
I'm giving
For
you
me.
the horny news, only what matters.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Distilled
My
into what
broadcast.
Yeah.
the women need.
All right, I feel like that's a good intro into our next topic.
Yeah, so that was our horny corner. Thank you guys for listening. When we come back, we're going to talk about our real life fantasies. Maybe they include football. Maybe they include some of these
Yeah.
other topics.
Yeah.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time like Blondie. Check out my Chrissy behind it.
Okay, welcome back to Softcore. This is a podcast about all things soft and hard, blah, blah, blah. Today we're talking about fantasies. So we want to kick off this kind of portion talking about maybe some of our personal fantasies. And we could start with maybe ones we've seen other people, books, movies, characters enact. If you guys have a favorite trope or movie, like what do you like to see play out?
To use the book talk Reddit terms, I'm a grumpy sunshine, enemies to lovers
Ooh.
That's
head.
good.
Yeah.
I would say those are my sort of mainstays. Feel like they've always been the ones the stories.
classics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know if I talked about this in another episode, but like Jane Austen, like Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice fucked me up, I would say.
Yeah.
And that dynamic is like, that's going to be what I like.
Yeah. Grumpy Sunshine. It kind of goes into like kind of hate fucking or like not wanting to, being like, fuck, I don't even like you, but I love like.
But
that
I
kind
love
of
you and respect you more than anyone. Yeah.
Also, I feel like an element of the Grumpy Sunshine that I really like, that for me has to be in it, is like you find out that the grumpy person has always been obsessed. It's just immediately obsessed with the thing.
Yes.
Well, obsession.
Is that
and sort of a misunderstanding of that of it. Like, yes, that's exactly it. Of like that the grumpy person isn't actually grumpy. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like
He's got depth.
they're actually just like sensitive and really smart and also just happen to be billionaires.
Yeah, they
Oh my
all
God,
have to be
always.
billionaires.
Have you read the Knock 'Em Out series?
No.
Okay,
what's
that's one of them. It takes place in a small town called Knock 'Em Out, and the guy's like
no,
a billionaire.
what?
I thought it was gonna be
The town
boxers.
is called Knock 'Em Out. What, are you
wouldn't
not allowed
believe
to
the
dance
names.
after 8 p.m.?
Pretty much.
Wait, what is Knock 'Em Out? And it's not a boxing thing?
No. I mean, the town is known for its rowdy fighting. Like, it's a small town where bikers like go to like drink beers and punch each other. So
Is
it's
it
like there's
horny?
rage. Yes. There's the hot guy that's introduced in book 1 is named Knox, and
I'll be writing this down.
he won the lottery a few years ago, but he's like really subtle about it. And he really likes the girl, but he doesn't want to admit it. And he has like a ton of careers that he uses his lottery money on, and it's just what you're describing.
His lottery money.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, we're in fantasy. He won the lottery.
Got that lottery money, and he's
Yeah.
really quiet about it.
Okay, I love
I
that.
guess that happens in a lot of books, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Lottery money?
Well,
Why you
more
have
than
to
one.
look at me like that?
I like the rich.
Yeah,
the
the
rich.
sort of magical
Mr.
Rich.
Darcy is
Mr. Darcy.
So okay,
that's
probably
sort of
stems
my
from-
prime example of like, I think I read/saw Jane Austen, the original Pride and Prejudice with.
Back when it was published back in the 1800s,
I
right?
saw it then.
when you were a young lass.
Yeah, and I was just sort of little English girl. I was trapped in my mom's home. All my sisters were trying to get married. That stuff. And I liked it a lot. And then it fucks you up for dating in real life, I think, because then I was always attracted to men like
are
who
grumpy
had
and
the
mean.
sort of
Like, don't come near me.
coldness of Mr. Darcy, but they weren't secretly yearning, smart, feeling millionaires.
Yeah.
They were just withholding men.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Pretty in Pink?
Yes, but not in a long time.
It kind of reminds me of that because Andrew McCarthy, I forget whether he's like aloof or something, but that's the object of Molly Ringwald's desire.
Yeah.
And he is like, I think, more popular than her, and she just like really likes him.
Yeah.
But then she's got this best friend who has a cool sense of style and music, Ducky, played by John
Yeah.
Cryer,
Oh, yes!
who is obsessed with her, just wants to worship her, but he's like really earnest.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck off, Ducky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Andrew McCarthy. And I feel like that also is something that it gets ingrained in you young, and then you find your duckies in life who are just obsessed with you, worshiping you, and you're like, gross,
Go
get
away.
out. This mean
Yeah.
guy who won't look at me is where it's at.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
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 I hate to see that.
I hate to see it. And it really is like learning to untangle that sort of need, like you were like through therapy and everything, when you start to see your patterns.
Gross. Boo.
Yeah, this is an anti-therapy
Don't
space.
do it.
All of us have paid so much money for therapy in our lives. But it really just like all of the things I'm into on some level are toxic.
Yeah.
Like when taken out of the fantasy space and into real life, which is where I have tried to take them.
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
Like to the extent of like one trope I love is, and it's only because I was a horny student. Oh, I wanted to fuck every teacher.
Yeah, that's good.
It didn't matter if they were
good.
80 years old. I
Oh,
said,
old. Uh-oh, it's contagious.
Sorry, we won't let that slip.
no, you guys, call me out on my shit. Do not, I
Seriously.
mean that. That is what good friends do.
We're lifting
okay?
up women.
Yes. I do not want to be able to get away with anything in this space.
And you
We got
won't,
you, girl.
girlfriend.
yeah.
Girly, we got you.
We got you, girl. We got you, girlie. The teacher thing is real. It's fucked up. It's along the lines of like Daddy in where you're like, okay, something clearly appeals to like a hetero girl experience.
It's like the power dynamic.
Yeah.
Like the patriarchy. I feel like that's very normal.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know that it's. I think there's like ways to explore it in a safe environment.
Like role play.
Role play, just not even like full-time role play.
Right, because I will say the past 60 seconds I've been like thinking of like awesome scenarios.
Yeah. I love that.
I've been here like dreaming. Yeah, because Professor, similar to Doctor in that they're instructing you something. So like Professor, maybe I'm painting and he's behind me and he's like, actually, and then there's arm.
Yeah.
And then there's breath on neck. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then same with Doctor, it's like, and does it hurt there? Yeah. And then maybe like, I don't know.
Actually, that doesn't hurt. Touching. It feels good.
Yeah.
I thought your stethoscope was supposed to be on me. It feels like it's on my lower back.
I didn't know stethoscopes were supposed to go inside. Yeah. Oh, you're listening to my heartbeat through my pussy?
Is that your stethoscope or are you just happy to see me?
So stuff like that.
Yeah. Kind of like stuff like that.
Well, I'll also say, kind of along those lines, like I feel like we've all read a lot of books. So and that's
well read.
Yeah, well read.
We've all read a lot of like romance novels where there's like the grumpy person is like a scientist or a really smart like doctor or whatever. Any of like the Allie Hazelwood STEM fuck novels,
but somehow also emotionally.
And like hot. So my problem now is that, again, bringing it into real life, is that anytime I'm on a dating app and anyone says they're like a doctor, a PhD candidate, whatever, I'm swiping right on them.
Fuck. So you fuck.
Yeah.
But I actually haven't sealed the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Show me a man in real life.
But I have met them in real life, but they'll kind of blow me
show
off
me a doctor, these people who have these serious intellectual academia jobs who actually also have the other side that Allie Hazelwood writes about. They don't. It's not real. It's why fantasy is so hard because also I'm like, but why can't it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like people. You know, I like humans. I think the human experience is insane and incredible and all the things. But I am also like, if we can think of these things, they have to also exist in reality.
Well, but then doesn't that mean, like, if we can think of, like, Harry Potter, then, like, magic exists?
Maybe.
Bitch.
I'm sorry. I got a diploma from Hogwarts University.
But we've talked about this
I went to the college. I went to Hogwarts College.
Online.
Yeah. Online. Online, honey. No, I know what you mean. And I do believe...
women.
I believe first and foremost women. And I don't fully... I want to be clear about something. Anything I say on this podcast, I may or may not actually believe.
Right.
I may or may not take back 2 moments later. Mm-hmm. That is the human experience.
I don't stand by my own words.
No. Yeah. I am in this to learn and change. And by this, I mean this life and body.
And I'm doing a character the whole time. What you see here, this is just the character
Judy.
speaking.
Yeah,
this is Judy.
This is horny Judy Garland.
Megan doesn't kind of know what's going on.
Okay.
Megan isn't here right now.
And see, where I'm sick is that I don't have a I'm sort of fused with whatever is
the
here.
fantasy.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Well, something about your fantasies are all very real based, like based in reality. Like they could be real, even though we haven't found proof of them personally in real life.
Yeah.
My kind of ideal fantasy scenario is kind of a bit more of an Outlander thing. Where I'm in present day, I accidentally trip and fall through some solid stones that become liquid or whatever it is. And then I am like, oh, I met a hot Scottish man and now I kind of have Stockholm syndrome, but I'm going to fuck him. Yeah. That to me is like, that is what I want.
I'm confused. You're walking down the street.
Have you seen Outlander?
No.
Okay. Oh. So basically what
we're having a viewing party.
We got to watch it. So basically.
At least one of the horny
Gibson
episodes.
again?
No. But that's some Highlander movie.
Okay, that's fine.
No. Okay. Outlander is based off of the book by Diana Gibson or something. And the book is, I've only read the first one, but it's like horny. It's good. But also too much like stuff about the history of Scotland. And it's like, I'm not coming here for that.
Yeah.
And the TV show is the same way. But the TV show, it's like 7 seasons or something now. You've got to at least watch the first one.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about this woman who's a nurse in the 40s, like right after World War II.
Yeah.
And she's married to this doctor or professor. And then she, like, again, it's shot like real, but she, like, kind of goes to these stones during this, like, full moon ceremony or something in the Scottish Highlands.
I'm incredibly invested. Like, this is all stuff I need. Like, that's all so alluring to me.
Yes. Well, it's like the world of it. And then she basically gets transported back into the, like when would it be? Like I don't even know that.
It's when it's like Scottish independence time
and like gets captured by and then her husband, the same actor that plays her husband, is also like the evil guy.
Yeah.
When she goes back in time. So it ends up being like a relative of his, but it's like, you know what I mean? So then
we're talking about generational trauma.
Yes.
We're bringing that into the mix.
She meets this really hot Scottish man, and they just are not. Their thing is, I don't know if they have anything in common except for being the most horny for each other.
And
they are just fucking all the time.
Think that's what I need.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The only way you can get it is to go back to Scotland.
Where you don't even care about what he's up to. You're just like, we gotta get to
business.
And
it's just like also this fantasy of like, we're fighting the good fight together.
Yeah.
We're like, we are a power couple, not in like a Beyonce, Jay-Z capitalist way, in a like gritty, rugged, we are on the right side of history, and we will go down fucking each other for a cause.
You gotta ride in front of me on the horse, and I'm gonna finger you while I do it.
And I want
you gotta
that.
watch it, Meg.
Oh my God, we have to show her like a really horny episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we should honestly watch it from the beginning together.
Oh, I
That'd
like
be
that.
so fun.
We really like that. Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
yours?
What are some tropes for Meg?
So I was thinking about it, and nothing's like coming to mind. That doesn't mean I don't have them, but nothing's coming to mind right now. The first thing I could think of was "Call Me by Your Name," but I'm like, okay, why does that really get me good? And I think because one, there's pining.
Yeah,
I could really understand Elio's like, and I'm talking about the movie. I haven't read the book, but I can understand like Elio's like pining for this guy. He's a professor. He's like kind of an authority figure because he's like hanging with the parents, but he's also like aloof. Like he's American. Like what is he even doing?
He's
like
cultureless and
he likes to eat people.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't.
that was integrated into the
that
character.
was integrated.
Yeah.
But then there's also, I think, and I don't even remember Armie Hammer's character's name really.
It doesn't
the guy.
matter. He's just like a hot.
Yeah, he's just the hot. He's the hot guy. And I also like how he doesn't show Elio that he's interested, like ever. So it's kind of this game they're playing where they're like, wait, didn't we just like fuck last night? But then they're at breakfast and he's like, not even. And so it kind of keeps you guessing. And then the second like the parents leave the room or something,
they're all over.
Yeah, then he like jumps on him. I like that. I think that's like a scenario I could enjoy where it's like we did something dirty together and then he just like is whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing hotter than a secret.
Yeah, because I think it takes you from 0 to 100 because you're like, I guess that was just a one-time thing, and then I get pounced on.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
and he's been thinking about
100%.
it ever since. And
And he's obsessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like heavy breathing on my neck, like can't get
I'm
enough.
gonna fuck this peach because of it.
Yeah. He finds out I fucked a peach, and he's like, I'm actually interested in that.
And that is something I like. I like a weird,
that isn't gross.
real, because I think like when you do it, when you are at that age, you are like kind of just doing weird stuff.
Right, you're like,
you're
it's
kind of
finding
gross.
toothbrushes,
Yeah.
you're
Lippy
finding
smoothie
like
peach.
like whatever you can, and it's like grody and
So American
bodily
Pie, actually.
and American or
Weird.
not American animal. It's like
Yes.
the animal of you.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Because everyone does it, and pretending you were always like not into like normal cool stuff is like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're into until you like do it.
Yeah.
So you have to like be
Yeah.
a little freak for
A bit of a
while.
teaching moment too, because he
Yeah.
kind of like teaches him sexuality.
And that's really hot.
Remember when they make out on the grass, like really ruggedly and like can't stop? That's good too.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Kissing actually is really good.
Yes.
For me, I think kissing scenes are sometimes like hornier than the sex scenes. Yeah, because the sex scenes they can't even really go there in cinema, but the kissing scenes they can fully build you up and like you can get that.
Yeah.
Horny.
Yeah, you can, they like it's coming. When are they gonna actually kiss? When are they gonna seal the deal? Like
and like the breathing and kissing of, or in the early part of relation, like that is what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's all about kissing and breathing together.
Yeah, because it's new. It's
and
new,
like your bodies are just. It's almost like you can't get to the fucking so fast because it's like you're feeling too much. Like you got to get that out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this will go into my fantasies, but I think about how like maybe on like a first or second date you don't want to go all the way, but maybe like you just make out for a long time with the guy. Like that's really cool. So I'm interested in like just having like we just like made out for like 2 hours. Like I'm telling you guys at brunch the next day, like he came over, we made out for a few hours. Like
I would.
That's
amazing. Awesome. Yeah.
That's what I agree with that. My best like first dates and even just early dates in general are the ones where it's like you just have like a fun make out on the street or like it's just so like exciting and
because the tension
new.
Builds through the day. You're like, I think he's hot, and he's thinking I think she's hot, and then you're like, what if we kissed?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you're like making out on the side of a building, like
pinned up.
Pinned up. It's the pinned up for me.
It's the pinned up for me. It's a pinned up for me.
Yeah, that's really what
I'm
it's.
pushed and I'm.
Oh,
yeah.
What? Yeah,
like,
and then maybe they like slip a hand down your pants.
Yeah.
Maybe
there's knee and crotch.
Boob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
knee crotch is good.
Knee to crotch.
Knee to crotch is good.
Play with the nip.
Play with the damn nip.
Play
Why
with
don't you?
Hey, get in the game. Get your head in the game and play with my nip.
I miss that about play with the nip. I miss that about New York because I feel like I had there's so many.
That's
more,
where my head goes.
Yes,
we're making out before I got on the
subway.
subway.
I kissed on so many streets
and kissing on the subway platform and like one time I had a make out with a guy. There was nobody else in the subway train. We were coming from some party in Brooklyn. Back to wherever, and there's no one else, and we were just like on top of each other making out on the subway. Yeah. Which now that I'm like that's actually disgusting.
I know,
if you saw that, you'd be like, gross, kids.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's all there's just like fun little. Like,
I just had a flashback. You know when you forget you hooked up with someone.
Absolutely.
That's what this was.
Yeah. I just sort of had an Outlander stuff. I was just taking.
No, you're not so Raven. You're
and. So imagine I'm Raven Simone, and
I always do.
Thank you. But I was the year maybe 2016.
Good year. Horrible year.
I don't know. Terrible year. I don't know that this was actually in the end a good hookup, but I do know that in the transition from the bar to the apartment, there was an empty New York street. It was 1 a.m. Empty. East Alphabet City Street.
That Alphabet City, that is exactly the area.
We are talking making out on the street, getting really into it, then walking down the middle of the street, walking while he's fingering me from behind. Like
I can only imagine where your legs are when you're
and it was just like I was just like it was
that is not where I thought that was going at all.
Like truly just like it was like we're gonna fuck on this street if we don't we have to keep moving but there was stuff that had to happen.
That's great that you simply can't stop.
Yeah. Can I tell you when you said that automatically the sound that went through my head? It's like. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why.
In your head, it's so romantic.
No, it's not so romantic in my head.
The walking in the hand.
Yes,
I can't look sexy while being fingered while walking.
Well, that's the whole thing. I don't think I did look sexy.
Okay.
I don't think any part of it was sexy.
Was the person in front or behind? Like, was it kind of
behind?
Are we scooping her?
Behind,
scooping behind her.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
I'll come over. Okay.
Mount.
So we're talking sort of a walking.
There you go. Yeah.
This scenario.
Oh! So you're going dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh.
But here's the thing: he was British, so it was like
they do things differently.
So they do things different
when they're walking down a Diagon alley.
Yeah.
And they don't call it fingering over there; they call it tea time.
Yeah, it was high tea. Yeah.
Idea at 1 a.m.
I'd love a cuppa.
Yeah.
Cuppa your
He said, tell me you
Cup
want
of that
a cuppa.
fanny.
Tell me you want a cuppa. Ask for a cuppa. How do you take your cuppa?
2 sugars? 4 sugars?
Milk! Not dairy! Oh, milk! Oh, milk! Oh, milk!
This is horrible.
I'll tell you what. It wasn't. I think it was not a good hookup scenario. Sort of one of those where afterwards you're like, most parts of this were actually bad.
How many dates did you go on?
Oh, this was a one-night stand.
Right.
This was a one-night stand, friend of a friend.
This was he who
met
shall not be
while
named.
out.
Yeah.
I was going through a
This
breakup.
was actually the current king of England, right? This is King Charles.
You guys know those phone calls they had between Charles and Camilla? Okay, now imagine that between us, but instead of underwear, we're talking about cuppas.
I think on that note, I feel like
We're out?
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for
I'm
listening.
feeling cool.
We'll see you guys in a minute.
Yeah.
I wanna come faster. I wanna last longer. I wanna ride.
Okay, well, now that I think we've all learned a little something about me and my mental illness, and how it integrates with my sexuality sometimes, we're going to dive into another form of fantasy, which is it's the sort of subreddit version of these books, fanfic. We're going into fanfic now. And Megan, as stated, gave us an assignment. Mm-hmm. She tailored it to our tastes. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was academically interesting.
So you read Bridgerton, specifically Johnny
Bailey
fanfic.
Mm-hmm.
You read
Dev Patel.
the actor fanfic. And I did X-Files Fox Mulder as played by Dave Duchovny.
Of course.
Fanfic.
That's good.
And these are our interests, so let's get into it.
Meg shared this with us. She chose these for us, and
this is from Fatpad.
yeah, Fat. It's from puppypisspad.com.
It's from your cumpad at home.
Which I made a
corner
username.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of start if that's okay.
Tell us about Dev.
Thank you.
So mine, it was a 9-minute read, but I will say that it felt like it took me shorter than that, and
It was a poem.
yeah, it was just like, this is my first entry into this world, so
And
I don't
first
know.
thing I clicked on too. You
Yeah.
can't guarantee it's good. It's just what's there.
I don't know how normal this is or
Right.
whatever. There's a lot
Hard
of
to know where normal is when you enter this world.
Yeah, so this was called this was published in 2016 called Destiny's Games. And at the beginning of the written story, it cast
Thank you.
it. So it was Dev Patel as himself, where it's yeah, obviously, who, you know
Mel
what I mean?
Gibson as
Dev Patel. It was Dev Patel as himself, and then the author obviously made herself me as myself. She wrote, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was
Is her name throughout the thing Brenda, or does it say your name?
no, it's her. She's the author. Me, I forget her name is Alicia or something, but she's the author, me as myself, Alicia. And everyone else, or some other famous actors, I guess, or Bollywood actors that I don't know, but they would have their names as themselves. Where it's I don't think you have to clarify
that's
that
actually so
in
redundant.
fiction.
Yeah.
So the structure of the thing is it would alternate between the point of view of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
I got that
same.
on mine. Good.
Oh, it seems like we all are sort of. That's awesome.
and this was set up to be kind of there was this big author's note before where she was I really connect to Dev
So
Patel
much
because
preamble.
Beautiful.
we're
Yeah.
both Indian, but we live he lives in England and I live in New Zealand, and so it was I really wanted to write a story that explores that and explores India and stuff.
Great heart.
So just keep that in mind
Called-
as a thesis.
so she really wanted. She's saying, I'm saying something with it.
Yep. So
And
just kind
actually,
of
this is bigger.
keep that in
This
mind.
is culturally relevant.
And so the thing starts with Dev Patel waking up, and it's all done from the first person point of view. So he's I wake up in my $2 million bedroom.
I can't.
That's the first thing
I
he says.
That's how he
can't.
says it.
And he's I looked
$2
at my precious Oscars from the Slumdog Millionaire era,
They're in view.
and then he
Yeah.
kept drinking black coffee, and it would be written I went to meet up with Andrew, who like we don't know who he is, like to sign some deals. I got another omelet and black coffee. Come on, I love the stuff.
Stop it.
Coffee is in every
yes,
the romance of coffee.
They're all like, I love coffee, coffee.
And then he so I guess signs a bunch of contracts or whatever
Dev
to
Patel style.
presumably go to India to film a movie, although that's never like explicitly stated.
Okay.
And then the next big chunk of it is about his packing list, which
Wow.
this was the only things on his packing list: bug spray, toiletries, suits and clothes, sunscreen,
Suits and clothes.
sunscreen, and my laptop, phone, and charger were things that were
Why is this so practical?
but it was things that were
Caroline?
And I have to tell you, at this point, we're about at the 50-way part through.
No.
You're 50% in.
You're 50% done with the story.
Okay,
This
so
is
then,
like on Quinn when you're like,
Yep.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so then he's flying British Airways to India, and that's where the next chunk of the rest of the story takes place. And he's seated next, and I think he's flying economy, seated next to Kunal Nair, who introduces himself, and he's like, you probably recognize me from my role in The Big Bang Theory. So he's a famous actor from The Big Bang Theory. They kind of talk about the business, and then
The idea that we're trying to up the watt by bringing up The Big Bang Theory.
Wait to bring up Big Bang until like 75% in, because that's when.
Yeah.
And then there's like this girl who like is 17 and wearing like a short skirt.
So she is underage.
Yeah. She's wearing, I think the author again,
Yikes.
the author playing herself, a short skirt
Okay.
and a black shirt. She kept going to the bathroom, but that's never addressed. So she kept going to the bathroom. And then basically it goes to her point of view. She's like a journalist.
17-year-old journalist.
17-year-old journalist.
It's Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
She would never be on an airplane.
Has dinner. Yeah, true. Has dinner on the plane next to her like friend who she's known for 12 years and she can't stand him. And then he spills like his dinner on her pasta on her lap or something. And then she goes to the bathroom and the story ends. But I have to tell you that the way that it ends is for some reason she like meets Dev Patel because they're sitting like across the row from each other, and she's like, oh, I spilled on my skirt, and he's like, don't you think, Dev goes to her, he's like, don't you think it might have been an accident? And she's like, you don't get how this guy is. And then this is, I kind of took quotes from the last paragraph of the story.
Deal with this.
As she's going to the bathroom, this is what she thinks. I wanted to acquire him, to make him love me, to make love to him. Just in the first instance, I wanted him. And then he goes, and then he's like, and then it switches back to his point of view. And the last line of the story is, for some reason, I felt something wasn't right.
What? Oh,
And we end there.
That's the end of it.
this we have
Yeah, I'm
like
sad.
patriarchy is so
Good.
deep and good, but like that is so clearly a 17-year-old sexuality.
Yeah.
And in a way that's like that's the sickness.
That's as far as
like
it goes.
like academics
the
should
words
use
there,
this
yeah.
story as proof in their be studying this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the nuanced version of the sickness of and curse of heterosexuality, I think.
I can't stress enough, it was 99% just Dev
His
Patel,
packing list.
packing list,
Making
and then
deals.
what it was like to be on British Airways. And then the last sentence, it was like a little bit horny.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing.
I'm feeling edged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barely.
So that's my book report. What what do
Okay.
I
Book
get?
report.
What's my grade?
I think
A+.
yeah,
A plus.
A+.
A plus, babes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the way you laid it out there. Yeah, sorry you had to read that.
No, I actually
we're-
really loved it. It made me
No,
laugh
it's
so hard.
so important.
It was
We're
so
learning
funny.
what's on this app. I think that's like a crucial thing. We need to know like what's
and we are
happening out there.
exploring.
Yeah.
We are true. We are Percy Jackson entering
Percy
this.
Jackson and the piss pads.
Yeah.
The piss bed.
Percy Jackson and the piss
Cool,
bed.
sure.
Yeah.
New podcast name.
Yeah, and we're going into that volcano and figuring out.
Is that what he does? He goes into a volcano?
I think so. I think it's kind of like a exploration of not Dante's Inferno. Is it Dante's Inferno?
I don't know, Miss
I
Percy.
thought it was like
Never met
Miss
her.
Percy?
the Greek gods.
Miss Percy.
That's what I call my Percy.
Yeah. Oh, The cuntiest.
Miss Percy.
Yeah.
Miss Percy's here.
Okay, Meg, I'm ready for your X-Files.
I think this is good because we overlap a lot. It sounds like both of our authors are teen girls who are learning to write and learning to express themselves. My girl actually gave a lot of like context around that. Like, hey guys, sorry, this is so bad. That was a lot of it. Like, I was young when I wrote this. Like, it's bad. Like, you don't even know. So, like, a lot of context. I'm like, okay.
I was so young. I was last year.
Yeah. I was last year.
I was last year, and now I'm senior.
Yeah, now I'm senior. I'm better.
Yeah.
I took out this character, and I took that. Well, so I get like way too much info about the writer.
Yeah.
I quickly learned that that's like part of it. You can like add context. I also learned that like POV is going to change. So it's like.
Seems like that's a common tool.
Common tool. Like we see it in our books, but it's definitely done more delicately.
Yeah.
And here it's like whiplash changing.
Yeah.
So I get context from this girl, I get back and forth, and immediately I'm like, okay, so think of X-Files. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's about a skeptic and a believer. Fox Mulder, played by David Duchovny, is the believer, and he's nerdy and nobody at the FBI likes him, blah, blah, blah.
Ducky
I'm kind of
vibes.
hoping for that. Yeah, Ducky vibes. I'm kind of hoping for that. Instead, immediately it's clear this is going to take place in high school. So imagine X-Files in high school, and I'm like, shit.
Here's the thing.
Fuck.
I never did imagine that.
Oh, I didn't either.
I had so many other imaginings
also, what
about
does
that
that
couple.
It means it's basically just it becomes just this high school story of like crushes, but like the guy's name is Fox. And they call him Mulder.
And is there any...
Is Scully, like, is it the same people? Is there paranormal?
No,
so
aliens?
it's imagine this is in like Manchester High School. It's like I think it's pretty British. I'm like getting a British vibe. High school.
I think Wattpad is
full
UK.
of English. Yeah.
I feel like that
think
name aligns with these sort of bizarre quirks of the UK.
Of fannies and cuppas and
Yeah.
yeah.
Cheeky.
So basically the story is she's in high school. It's your name, so it'll be Y/N. So I'm supposed to put Megan in there, which helped a little bit.
That is funny.
But
so it's like your point of view.
Yeah, so instead of saying like Megan moves around, it says Y/N, your name here, like you put that in.
Yeah.
So I just read it as Yun the whole time. I'm like, and then Yun does this or whatever, Y/N. And it starts off in the high school classroom. It's my perspective. Fox, this creepy guy nobody likes. He has this group of friends who all talk about UFOs all the time. Like he like taps my shoulder, and then I'm like, what? And he's like, never mind. And then it's his perspective, and he's like, I never realized how beautiful she was. And then it's my perspective being like, I didn't realize he's actually cute.
Yeah.
And then like, and
We're
then she tells
realizing
her,
a lot.
yeah, then she tells her friends, and they're like, "What? You actually like spooky Mulder? Yeah, I don't know, he's cute." And then she like goes up to him in the cafeteria, and she's like, "Would you want to hang out later?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then his friends are like, "I can't believe you're going on a date with blah blah blah." And then she's like, "You can't believe you asked him on a date."
Yeah.
And then she like comes to her house later, and like, and then there's this other character who like pulls her into a closet at some point and is like, I still like you. And she's like, wait, you still like me? It's just like bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Yeah. And I feel for this girl. I think she's definitely working out some stuff in this writing.
Yeah. Which we have to support.
We have to support young women writing.
Absolutely.
And it's all like, sorry, this was so long. Like I changed a lot. Like I'm getting her whole like, and imagine trying to like fully fap, and then you're getting this girl who's like, sorry, it was bad. You're like, shut up.
I actually need you to be like a little bit confident right now.
Be confident, girly. Yeah. So it's nothing like what I wanted. Also, I'm like fully like, I used to identify as a teenager. Like up until age 30, I was like, I love teen vibes. Like teen. Like I'm such a teen girl.
Yeah.
I'm finally like embracing I'm 30. I want adult stuff. And then to bring me back, like it's gonna sexy David Duchovny, Californication, and you're gonna put him in a high school, and he's gonna play this little nerd that taps on my shoulder.
No, I was like a high schooler who was into old ass David Duchovny.
Yeah. Right. Make the story I
want
to
be a woman.
Yeah, you walk into the FBI and you're like, sorry, I think there's a ghost in my house.
Yeah.
Can you come look?
I'm soaking wet. There's a ghost in my house.
The ghost might be in my panties.
Yeah. Oh, doctor, your stethoscope.
And it comes back to that.
Yeah.
Wait,
definitely.
so how does it end? Like, and how long was it? Like,
it was a 30-minute read.
Oh my god!
Did it in 10. And it ends like she definitely was intending to write more. I think they kiss, but it's not sexy kiss. It's like, and then we kissed. Like,
yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it was like a little girl's diary. I can't think of anything less horny than that.
Yeah.
Also, because you as a former teen are just like transported back to that like emotional headspace, which is like
people making fun of you.
Yeah.
Oh, you like spooky Mulder.
Yeah.
That's trauma. I don't want to.
Y/N.
Well, yeah, I hate
Yeah.
Y/N. Everyone calling me that. I don't know. I just wasn't horny. I learned a lot about writing, what I don't like, what I do like. Immediately, I'm like, let me get give me the pen. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I could do this.
I
And
know.
that
will
was
be
the
doing it.
scary thing for me is I'm
Yeah.
like, should I start writing new
That's-
Wattpads?
I
The
really
way
think we're gonna get into that.
where I'm like, I would be good at this.
I would
Yeah.
be so. Let me touch it up. Like I'm gonna place it in the FBI. Like because at the beginning I was like, oh, maybe I can map like adultness onto this teen scenario. Like okay, they're in a classroom. Okay,
Yeah.
they're in a conference room. You know, like maybe I can pretend it's
Yeah.
like different. It quickly got so like, and then where your
Impossible.
friends are like, making fun of you, and it was impossible to map.
Yeah.
Yeah, was not good.
It's hard to also reckon when you realize, like, I think I'm into adult stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've graduated.
When you're
I
no
think I'm a
longer
woman.
teen.
When you're no longer
yeah.
teen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think for her grade?
Yeah. Mister, what did I get on me reports?
Well, I think
Let me check my
let me
papers.
just check my fucking notes.
I hope I did good on
I'm gonna
me
fucking
A-levels.
say you got an A+.
A+. A+.
A+.
Thanks, mister.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You take that and you
Stick it up your arse.
stick it up your arse.
What you read?
Okay, so I just looked up the. You guys had some good stats on yours. Mine is called Duty. Anthony.
Duty, colon, Anthony.
Duty, colon, Anthony. It's a 34-minute read time.
God.
It's 7 parts. It is a Bridgerton fanfic on the oldest brother, Anthony, who's played by Jonathan Bailey.
Love.
Just a stunningly hot man.
Stunning.
Stunning vibes. And understands yearning and sexuality in the way we need it to be understood. And some info about this. So it's sort of set up in the same way all Bridgerton things are. Like there's a coming out, a debutante.
Already, I want to say that this sounds so much more well written
Yeah.
than what.
But
either
here's what
Meg
I
or
need you
read.
to understand. Like, because again, it's the same thing that happens, I think, with like Jane Austen. When you take like these really classic tropes, you can slip them into this structure that can kind of fake you out for a little bit, but it's not actually well done.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the girl's name is.
What is it?
Euphemia.
Whoa.
Euphemia. Is it a euphemism for something? That's hard to know.
Euphemia.
Euphemia. I hardly knew her.
Yeah, Euphemia, I hardly knew her is exactly right. So her brother sets her up with the Viscount, and she's like, wants to marry for she's really nervous, and they seem to get along, but also not really.
Yeah.
And then his mother says, I want you to marry for love, and tells the girl that, and so she
Euphemia.
breaks Euphemia, Miss Euphemia, and
If you're nasty.
yeah, and she isn't. I really wish she was. And she, oh my God, I just lost my train of thought because I just remembered. I literally called up Lady Chatter. Have you guys seen Lady Chatterley's Lover?
No,
No,
I
I've
have
heard
to
so much
watch
about it. I know you. I know you're.
You
Lady
guys, they're dancing naked.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
literally
I'll write
there's
it
like
down
full
as my
frontal.
homework.
There's multiple sex scenes
Should I read
of
the book
good
first?
fucking.
Homework.
I honestly think
Homework.
It has the least horny name in the entire
Yeah.
world.
you don't.
Mr.
Sounds like a
Chatterley's lover.
Lady
disease.
Chatterley's Lover. I'm just telling you, people. Like, I'm not trying to trick anyone. I'm not trying to manipulate.
know.
This is free
I know,
information.
I know,
This
but
is
my
good
body
shit.
is like.
I know, rejecting.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a movie night with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we'll watch the pilot of
Outlander.
Outlander. Yeah.
Okay, so it's again, I do think this is a young person. Like
Yeah.
everything about it is like, and so then she breaks up with him because the mother is like, I want my boy to marry for love, and
I want my boy to
Yeah.
marry for.
Yeah.
And then obviously it turns out that like then the last chapter is like or the second to last chapter is they're at a new ball once she's broken off the engagement, and he sees her dancing with someone else. He sees Euphemia dancing it, and
Shaking that
and
ass.
from his POV, he says, an odd sensation was taking over me.
Okay.
And that sensation is just jealousy.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's an
odd.
odd. That's
It is
an odd
odd.
sensation.
Oh, these girls are like almost there.
Yeah, they're so close.
This girl is the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we found out this was a repressed 35-year-old woman.
Oh, yeah.
And so then she leaves because she doesn't want to tell him, like, rat out his mother. He finds out about the mother. He tracks her down. He says, I think I've loved you all along. You know, I think I've loved you all along. And then they share a kiss. And she writes this about the kiss. I couldn't believe it was happening. And yet it felt so right and natural. And I think that's
Yes.
it's just nice. You're just like, yeah, good for you, girl. Good for you. It felt so right and natural.
This is like professional golfers going to play mini golf. You know,
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
Like we read like not hardcore, but hardcore.
is
Like
hardcore. It's
when
like-
what we're looking for is, and then the penis,
My dick,
like,
my fucking
yeah,
hard dick,
everything
my dick,
throbbing,
Yeah,
like,
throbbing,
what's
my
happening,
feet, my sex,
members,
his
my
member.
sex,
Yeah.
We're looking for that.
My
stethoscope.
core.
Yeah. We're coming from up here,
Yeah.
and we are going down here.
But
and
it's
like,
important.
oh,
We
you
cannot
had a
forget our roots.
tingle.
Yeah, because
so
they're
This
This
thinking
is
about their
keeping us
first
grounded.
kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're thinking about their first kiss.
Or maybe first airplane ride.
First,
that was
First miniskirt.
mostly about someone's first airplane.
90% airplane.
I've never been on an airplane. I gotta kind of flesh this out with
Yeah.
Dev Patel.
Yeah.
What do I pack? What do I pack?
Yeah, it
For
would
my
be
$2 million bedroom.
I wake up, I look at my Oscars, I say good job.
Yeah. He won an Oscar?
Slumdog.
According
Slumdog.
to this
This
fan
girl?
fiction,
Yeah.
He has.
a ton of Oscars.
You're right.
for
In this
Slumdog.
world,
In this world,
Yeah.
he does.
Dev's one every year.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a world I want to live in. Sure. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it was, I think Bridgerton at the end of the day is like a little soft for me in many ways. And it's the writers that all are like claim to be coming from Jane Austen. It's and the Bronte sisters and all the fucking romantics. It's like, I get it. Again, they're taking structures and they're plugging themselves into them. But it is tough because it's like, but you're just not nailing what was nailed.
Yeah.
In a way that, in a deep way. Like sometimes there's one writer, Sarah McLean, she did Bombshell that I lent you.
Yeah.
And she can get it. She will do a high concept, but she writes fucking scenes like no one else. And I'm like, I can get into it if I'm gonna experience that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think what we're experiencing with the fanfic is we're like even further delineated.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. It keeps us grounded.
Yeah.
And keeps us honest.
Keeps us honest.
Yeah.
You know? We can't get too high on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess for that, I'd give you.
What can I give you? That report was really well done.
With considering the curve,
Considering
I
the
give you an
curve.
A plus.
A plus.
Oh my God, an odd sensation is coming over me. A really odd sensation. I
Can't describe it.
couldn't describe it. Not if I tried.
And I won't.
And I actually won't.
I won't go into more detail.
Oh my God,
about
she also like flashed forward, like she was jumping time. She was just,
Oh.
it was a lot.
it. It's good to know we could punch these up. We may or may not. Like it's just we could.
And we don't need, at some point we will each be bringing in
I
a
think
piece.
so.
Our own. Yeah.
And I think that what I'm learning about fanfic and what I've heard online is that it comes from that feeling of loving a character so much that you need more that the media is not giving you. And I've definitely had that happen before where I get so obsessed with a TV show or something. I'm like, I'll just like go on Reddit and read like theories about the show and like what are people saying. I'll go on Twitter and just search the name of the show to see what people are saying. Like I need more. So I understand that desire to like I need more of the show.
Yeah.
And also I'm in love with the main character, so if he could fuck me in
Yeah.
in
If
this
he could fuck-
fictional
if he
content.
could fuck Y/N.
Fuck Y/N.
could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had that feeling in so long though, watching a show or falling in love with like a
World
singer
or-
or something.
yeah.
I'm going to tell you right
Yeah.
now, Lady Chatterley's Lover is going to fuck you up.
Okay.
I watched it
Alrighty.
twice in one weekend.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I am feeling a little Travis Kelce. Like if this story develops more, I might need to do Megan as Taylor.
Great.
And a little
do a little.
And then Travis's huge hand grabs mine, and he like pulls me into the bathroom. Like
That's your Wattpad.
that could be my Wattpad.
Because
my
the
little
thing
pity
is,
pad.
when people do it well, like Allie Hazelwood with Love Hypothesis doing, which is Star Wars fanfic, where you're like, Adam Driver, taking that and turning it into something. Yeah, that's good. Like someone like you who's smart and has great, horny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got an A+.
Yeah.
We've all got an A+ on our A levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh my
did.
God,
The
we passed our
A-levels
A
is what I was
levels.
looking
We
for.
passed our A levels.
Um,
All right. On that note, thank you. We'll be right back with our final segment, some sort of horny something.
Yeah.
some sort of horny something.
Daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck.
And welcome back to Softcore. We are at our final segment, the horny meter. So for this segment, each of us are going to present an idea to one of the other co-hosts. And that co-host is going to try to make that thing horny. What does it take to make that thing horny? These objectively unhorny things, we're going to horny-fy all of them.
Yeah.
Does someone have one they want to present first?
I'll start.
Yeah. You go.
Least horny thing, immediate first thing that
And
comes
who
to
are you
mind.
giving it to?
I'm throwing this to you.
Okay. See what you can do with this.
See what you can do, girl. Let's see,
Girly.
girl. How you like the ring? Girl?
All right.
Twilight.
Twilight.
How you like the rain, girl?
What's the other one? The like, you crazy loca, or what is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Like,
Bella, where have you been looking? Right?
Where have you been, loca?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
How you like the rain, girl?
I'm ready.
Okay. Just a Costco industrial sized tub of Hellman's full fat mayo.
Ew.
Sorry.
How do, okay, oh God. So how do you make that horny is you use it as, oh God. Okay, you have a whole, you're going to have to throw a really big party
Okay.
for like 1,000 of your closest girlfriends.
1,000 of our closest girlfriends.
Yeah, everyone, because people
Okay.
don't actually know this, or maybe you do, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but mayonnaise, and this is actually true, is kind of like one of the original conditioners. It like softens your hair.
Okay, I remember
So,
hearing about this.
All
Lovely.
1,000 of your girlies are going to come over, use the Hellmann's
Yeah.
as their conditioner, and you'll all just kind
Girlies
of like
come over.
chat. Yeah, have a
1,000
little
girlies
spa
with Hellmann's
day.
in their
I got
hair.
too much mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this would be good to also do if everybody has COVID, so that way you don't have to smell the mayonnaise.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Get everyone with COVID.
yeah, and you can do your pubes and your armpit hair too if you
Good.
want, and then that's going to be using up all of the mayonnaise.
Sure.
And then everyone's going to rinse their hair, and then everyone that night has to have a date with whoever they want, and then their date is going to be like, oh, your hair, your pubes are so smooth,
Okay,
your
that's
armpit hair is so
beautiful.
smooth, and then they're going to go, that's actually what turns me on is smooth hair.
Yeah. It's
And then we got
interesting. That was fanfic. That's Hellman's Mayo fanfic.
I think we're totally gonna get into fanfic.
yeah, that's Hellman's Mayo fanfic. Thank you. That was beautiful
Yeah.
and horny.
And
Okay.
we'll put that. We can transcribe that straight to Wattpad.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going straight.
And
that's for
when the
the-
girlies are typing in mayo, and they're
Yeah.
not getting anything.
hello.
That's for the mayo
Hello.
girlies.
Hello. Yeah.
Costco,
Stick a
keywords
knife in
Costco, industrial.
Yeah.
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 All right. Meg, for you, I have outdoor rugs.
Outdoor rugs.
You know, like they're kind of plasticky,
Yeah, because they're meant for
heavy
the
duty.
weatherproof.
Yeah. Weatherproof rugs.
Okay, outdoor rug. You're it's like your third or fourth date
Yeah.
with the guy, and he's like, "Hey, my cabin is gonna be available this weekend if you want to go."
Crackling
We're there at the
fire.
cabin. We're drinking drinks, and we go outdoors, and he makes me a lovely martini, and I accidentally spill it because I'm so clumsy. I spill
Oh my God, you are so,
so
silly.
clumsy.
That is
I'm
so
so
silly.
clumsy. I spill it on this beautiful Pier 1 outdoor rug, and this dude is really strong, so he can rub it out on the rug, and then I go, oh no, let me help you, and so we're both
Yeah.
down on all fours,
Yeah.
trying to get the vodka out of the rug because it's got a stain,
Yeah.
and then we Dirty Dancing style look up. kiss.
That's a horny outdoor rug.
I never think of it the same.
That.
I'm still learning how to play this game, but I think I did it.
Yeah, you did it really
great.
well.
Yeah.
You did it great.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
In that case, try this because I don't know.
Okay,
Try
I'm
this
ready.
on for size.
I'm ready.
Your friend has a cousin who's really into steampunk, and every time he takes a photo, his face goes like this.
Oh.
I'll just say this: you're really good at this game.
Yeah, save the hardest for last for sure.
I don't know if I'm making the face right, but it's like open mouth, like.
Yeah, well, I know exactly the steampunk.
All right.
Oh, it gave me chills.
Here's the thing. First sentence is the horniest thing that can ever be. Your friend has a cousin.
That's right.
And so we're digging in on that. Okay? We're honing in. I am brought along with my friend's family to their summer vacation in Michigan.
Yes.
And they're like on a lake in Michigan, and so it's just like
Upstate
us
Michigan.
and Michigan.
It's beautiful this time of year.
The time of year I'm there, it's so beautiful.
My family actually has a place upstate Michigan.
In upstate Michigan.
We're gonna go on one of the lakes there.
Yeah. So we're on an upstate
One of
lake, and we're like there for 2 weeks. It's basically summer camp.
Yeah.
Took off
And
work.
here's the thing: he's a little goofy and steampunk, but he is 5 years older than me, and I'm in high school.
Oh, wasn't expecting that.
Under or over 18.
Yeah.
I'm a 25-year-old.
you're
Everyone
really
in
dumb.
this is a woman, an adult, but I am a high schooler.
Yeah.
In
essence.
Yeah, and I was like in an international school, and so my credits didn't transfer when I
Yeah.
came over.
Uh,
I'm like so over him, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy's lame. He's a loser.
He
Like,
was a 30-year-old steampunk based off of the map.
who does this? His photos. Yeah, and I'm like, it's so stupid when he does that. Like, I hate it. Literally makes me
I think
cringe.
his name is Xander for sure.
With an X?
Yeah.
Xander. And I'm like, I would never, ever. But then we find ourselves, we're the only ones in the kitchen at like 2 a.m. one night. And he's
Goggles on or goggles off?
and he has his he's organizing all of his accessories.
In the
Top
kitchen.
hat over here, other top hat over here.
And I'm like, Xander, what is your deal? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening
Xander.
here? And he's like, it's funny. I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, I guess I don't even need it. But I got into this after my dad died.
I know that, Maggie.
Oh, you had to do it.
And I'm like, oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
I did notice he
tragedy.
wasn't here at the family camp.
yeah, the trauma. I'd love to hear more about that. And so I find out how his dad was one of the foremost steampunkists.
Sure.
It's your world.
Yeah. of upstate Michigan. and just sort of the expanding of the context. It's not a forever romance, but he does fuck like the world's ending. You know what I mean?
We're running out of time.
We're running out
he
of time,
fucks
and
like-
if I don't eat your pussy for 5 hours,
Yeah.
everything's gonna end.
Yeah.
And so I let him, and then we even get to a point where like I'm so okay with it. I'm like, do your steampunk while you go down on me.
Do your steampunk.
Go steampunk on me.
And then he's goth dancing under a bridge.
Yeah, yeah. And then we run into each other at my friend's wedding, 2 decades later,
Yeah.
and he has married a dog. And I'm like, my God, remember when you fingered me walking down the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is horny.
Yeah.
I made
You
it.
got me there.
Yeah.
You took the long way.
Also, this game is going to be really toxic because it's also making me realize how much I have justified. My brain can start
yeah.
justifying
Yeah.
anything. I have made so many unhorny men horny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
The mind is a powerful
In this
thing.
economy.
Yeah. If there's one thing we're good at, it's making something horny.
Yeah.
So I think we
Yeah.
A+ on our A levels.
A+ on
We
our
passed
A
the A
levels.
levels,
So,
Girls.
yeah, that was Horny Meter, and this has been Softcore Fantasy Edition.
Fantasy edition.
Thank you. Come again. Right? That's how we sign off.
Yeah, perfect.
We did it.
Okay.